Okay, we're good. Live? We're good on YouTube? We're good on Facebook? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, earnings analysis, NVDA, BIDU, applied materials, and Pinterest. We're going to go through that and so much more. You're not going to want to miss it. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. We have so many great things to talk to you about today. We're going to go over earnings analysis, what we thought, how they panned out, what we think is going to happen. Deere is even reporting tomorrow. We're going to go through that, the levels. I guess there's a lot of things we could go over. The top of Apple, multiple more emails I received on this day than any other day this year. We'll go through all that and why. But first, by watching this video, you are already agreeing to hold me, Mark Melnick, and T3 harmless and not responsible for anything. And if you do not agree to that, you must exit this video immediately. Thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing for that. And let's just get right into the action today. We're going to start off by analyzing NVIDIA here tonight, and quite a massive move up, followed by a massive move down. You could just see crazy 5-minute action, and then it digested down, and then it fell here. So kind of a nutty, definitely a nutty type move. And you could just see how it just absolutely exploded up and then down. Let's just go right to the numbers. Let's see if they really deserve that beaten up path. And let's just talk about what happened. 88 cents. That's ahead of the 79 cents expected. I thought they would be short on earnings. They weren't. 2.22 billion versus the 2.2 billion expected. Sounds very bullish. NVIDIA CEO says company is back on an upward trajectory. Sees Q2 revenue 2.55 billion plus or minus 2% versus a consensus 2.54 billion. So they are still giving themselves room to miss consensus revenue because they give a range. Now their new thing is plus or minus 5% when they actually do it. This is the new Nvidian standard. Nvidian, as if it's almost like a race of people. Oh, look, they are the Nvidians. They said right now that China has 300 million gamers, and I was like, that's it. I mean, pretty much China is a massive, massive gaming industry. They said they're doing very well there. They're saying the gaming market is fine and stabilized, were the company's words. Now, this is what turned me off. So NVIDIA comes out and they basically say the CFO comes out and he's just basically saying that's it. We're not going to give future revenue anymore. And when a company starts to do that, to me, that is bad. So the CFO says drivers are still working, but they're not planning on giving fiscal year 2019 guidance at this point because they know everything is weak with the company. So what they did is um, they show the good, but they don't show the bad, is pretty much what they're trying to do. That sound like Does that sound like some trading gurus, you know? So, at this point, you could just go ahead and look at the company and say this is justified. This big move up, the numbers look good. Oh, by the way, we're done giving guidance. We're not planning on giving you guidance. You know what that says? Unless this thing smells like roses freshly picked out of the garden, we are not going to allow you to sniff it because it might smell like a public restroom. That is what they are saying. To me, that's horrible. I mean, the sentiment from the company is just horrible. When you start talking like, we're going to give you, hello, Wall Street, we're going to give you less transparency on fiscal year 2019 guidance, and we're not planning on sharing it with you. Of course, only if something changes. To me, that is extremely dangerous. And I think that big down move was indeed justified. We'll have to watch it tomorrow. And, definitely use the same levels in which we went over yesterday. That's 170, 159 to the upside, and of course, on the daily chart, 149.69 to the downside. So, um, again, we could share those slides with you at the end. That's not a big deal, but yeah, we'll share that with you afterwards. Let's go into Baidu. I never like really judging the Chinese companies because they're different reporting standards. They rarely give guidance. In fact, I'm so proud of Alibaba for finally doing it. 41 cents per share. That is less than the 42 cents expected. 3.59 billion in revenue. That's ahead of the 3.52 billion in revenue. They announced a $1 billion share repurchase program effective until July 1st, 2020. Um, One of their senior vice presidents of search business resigned. That's to me not a I don't know. I'm not familiar with these company employees. The Baidu CEO says new artificial intelligence businesses are making stronger progress. Really. So here's the interesting part. This is why, to me, this is the worst part about the Baidu. They see next, and actually, good for them for sharing next quarter's revenue guidance because they weren't doing this all the time. It's nice to see Baidu finally doing that. Baidu 3.74 billion to 3.96 billion expected. That's short of the 4.27 billion expected. In English, they're like, in the best case scenario, based on our numbers, we are going to miss projections by $310 million. And in the worst case scenario, we're going to lose $530 million. Add those up, 840, that's $420 million on average they're planning on missing consensus by. That is awful, especially in an environment like this. And I cannot begin to tell you the reasoning because I'm not a frequenter of Baidu's website. But obviously it's very popular in China, and I don't understand why they would be losing revenue and to whom they would be losing revenue. Level to watch on Baidu to the downside, 153.78 was the A plus trigger we gave you yesterday. Just so you know, this is what 153.78 looked like today in Baidu. Let's just show you when it broke through after hours. Here's after hours. Here's after hours. Here's the flush on the 1 minute through. Our A plus trigger or algo smasher level of 153.78. It literally dropped like 10 points before slowly grinding up and then getting decimated. Stock went from 148 to 138, dropped another 10 points. 10 points, rose up a little, dropped 10 points again. And still even went lower at that point. Now, looking at Baidu here, my thoughts are the earnings are abysmal. I mean, those earnings are beyond bad. Those are not the type of earnings that you want to share with Wall Street in an environment where, people are trying to decide what they want to hold during this phenomenal bullish movement. I'm going to give you a huge level, YUGE. It's going to be huge. YUGE, huge. 130.77. I don't know if it's going to get there. It's at 138.5 after hours right now. But if you could break 130.77, the volume will be massive. You're talking the next candlestick support line of $100. That's an that that volume would elevate massively at that point. So again, I don't know if it's going to drop another little less than $8 from here. I have no idea. It's already down kind of big. Depends how Wall Street feels about it tomorrow. You could be in our room watching us potentially trade it. But with that being said, I mean, those numbers were just abysmal, and I think it's justified for how down they are. Applied materials. Okay, so applied materials is up a bit after hours. Let's just take it right over to the chart. Thank you. And you could just see, just like a bull flag digestive pattern here after hours, like it popped up. You had some crazy tails from late prints or whatever, but then they took it up again. Let's go ahead and just take it right over to the numbers of AMAT. 70 cents, that was ahead of the 66 cents consensus, 3.54 billion, which is about 60 million, is 60 million ahead of the 3.48 billion expected. Now, here was the key to me, as it always is. They saw next quarter's revenue 67 to 75 cents versus the consensus 69 cents. The nice thing about it is that's an average price of 71 cents based on the company's numbers. So basically, they're saying on average it'll be 71 versus the 69 expected. And now they did this game again. They did the same exact thing, this company, which what NVIDIA did. And they said we are going to make 3.525 billion plus or minus 150 million. The good news is at the most pessimistic end of that spectrum, if they were minus 150 million, they would come in at $3.51 billion, which is exactly analyst consensus. So they're pretty much saying we're going to either meet your projections or we'll do better, which to me ends up being a bullish thing. Just taking it right over to the chart right now, this is a very, very bullish move for me here. I love what happened here. You could even see when we gave an algo smasher level yesterday at 43.15. We could share them with you again tonight, and we'll just show you the list. But definitely a phenomenal play. So the Newsbeat room experienced some, really nice stuff today. There was a lot of positive energy going around. Definitely was able to do very well. Again, I've received more thank you emails, I think, than I've actually ever received as a broadcaster in my life. I have two, three, four, 5 pages going up to down of all the emails I got today. So I've received over 300 emails. Please do not be offended if I don't reply to you fast enough, but it's across the board. It's across the board. Just a lot of happiness, a lot of making money today. We did something really cool today. I'm not going to even go over the trade. It's not even about going over the trade and showing you what can be done. The truth is, there has to come a point where you have to be convinced to take the next step forward. I could drop a bunch of, like from Family Guy when they drop a bunch of M&Ms on the floor, then, Peter starts, candy, ooh, candy, ooh, candy. Then he gets trapped under a box with a stick that somebody pulled out. At this point, if you're taking trading seriously, I guess the most modest way I could put it at this juncture right now, because the market always changes. Different environments bring different types of styles out. Nothing is always the same. And the market always teaches you that we change, we evolve in the market. But on a mission out there right now, my mission is to create the largest group of consistently profitable traders out there. We try to bring you the best stuff out there. Um, 300 emails plus would actually make a good argument that we do bring the best stuff out there. And the type of numbers that I saw today, they were all 5-figure range numbers from a lot of people. All 5-figure range numbers, 10,000 plus on a day like today. Now look, do I do this every day? Of course I don't. But if you do want to experience it, or you want the best chance to experience it out there on Wall Street, $49 gets you your first month. If you're not willing to try something like that for 49 bucks, nothing I do will convince you. But what I can show you is things like this, just little cute things like this. And I'll be honest, with the type of day we had today, I'll be the first to admit I didn't even trade this one. But again, this sort of style caters every single person in trading. Now from yesterday's level, what if you got a tweet at 11:59 a.m. saying Apple's resistance was 192.09? And again, I'm not saying these all work. I'm just showing you a random example, right? 192.09 on Apple resistance. You get a tweet at 11:59 a.m. Here's the 5 minute of Apple. You get the tweet right there. It hits right here, digests literally 37 cents higher before plummeting $3 and how much? It's $3.25. Yep, a little more, $3.26. Goes up 36 cents and then drops $3.26 right afterwards. That's the type of stuff we're bringing you out there. Here's the truth. There is no other technical analyst out there who are actually doing this stuff. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because all the people out there who are helping program these things and doing these things, they're running automated strategies. And when you run an automated strategy, it's the most, to me, I think it's more secretive than the FBI in like CIA. I think it's more secretive. It is the most secretive industry out there. Remember the Goldman Sachs dude who stole the information on the automated trading programs and went elsewhere and cost the firm billions of dollars? Remember that? So what you have is you actually have an algorithmic analyst, not a more than a technical analyst. It's about understanding where the robots are going to go before they go there. And that is really just one of the critical differences of what we do here, besides for all the other things. You want tomorrow's levels today? Sure, here you go. Here are tomorrow's levels today. These levels don't always hit. In fact, they usually don't. But when they do, they tend to give me personally a great opportunity to go long or buy stock underneath support, or go short or buy puts or sell stock above resistance. Don't tattoo these on your arm. These levels change every single trading day. These are the levels for tomorrow, May 17th. So you have a chance to experience what so many have experienced in the Newsbeat live room. You have a chance to come in the room and ask about these trades that we do. You have a chance to come and watch us potentially trade NVDA, BIDU, AMAT, maybe DEER, maybe something else, maybe something with breaking news flow. You have the opportunity to change your life and actually start your new path as a consistent day trader and one that makes tons of money when the opportunity presents. And of course, if it was no wonder, it was easy to guess why you, and thank you, you, the watcher, makes the Newsbeat live room the number one largest, fastest growing trading room at T3 Live. Happy trading, make money. I will see you guys tomorrow in the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.